money in the bank and waiting 10 years to get that same quantity of money. Um, but when you're looking at, now I've been doing the math on it, and when you're looking at very, very large quantities of capital, uh, at some point, the dividend rotation strategy versus the taxation of uh, stocks that don't stay still sometimes is not favorable to those individuals that are moving millions around at the same time. But you're looking at still three times more than what you would have gotten if it would have stood still. So, nevertheless, I always encourage swing that dividend rotation strategy, but I encourage you to swing it not doing all in purchases. You want to diversify your money because just like I told you a moment ago, Orchid Island and AGNC are on the same day. You should put some money in AGNC and some money in Orchid Island. Orchid Island, AGNC, and Arbor Realty or monthly stocks. You should put money on all three of them and just do a buy and hold with those. If you put $1,000 of your $10,000 bundle into each one of those stocks, that's $3,000, and then you still have the dividend rotation with the other 7,000. That makes sense. You actually could put $2,000 into each one of them, which is 6,000 out of your $10,000 bundle, and then do dividend rotation with the other 4,000, where more than 50% or 60% of your income is sitting still, non-taxed. Uh, and then the rest of it is moving around. You're guaranteed to get what you're going to get off of your monthly stocks, and you're rolling the dice on the remainder. That is, in my opinion, a less risky way to go because if you're all in on one stock, you can't buy the next stock until the last stock clears. So if you have to take a loss in order to start moving your money again, some people actually take that loss. But if you're in a game and you're getting the dividend at the same time, you win twice. So how many times out of the year can you score big? Really depends. But let's go ahead and tiptoe into what we've got going on for today. I just want to know real quick before we get started, did you guys get an email about a secret $10 stock that unlocks hundreds of trillions in hidden government assets? Um, it's the kind of get rich quick promise that probably flooding your social media feeds. I know you've seen it. I've seen it. It's a grainy video of some self-proclaimed finance guru speaking in hush, urgent tones. The uh, flash of the headlines, executive orders, and stock charts, all painting a picture of a can't miss opportunity. A lot like I last week Thursday I experienced it twice. Well, not twice. It was two different commercials that continuously happened because I was driving for over 10 hours. But one commercial was this lady up there talking about how there's a $5,800 stimulus check that people can acquire right now. That's a lie. That's a lie. There was another one about some guy that was up there talking about there's like 11 words that you can use to get all of your stuff removed off of your credit score. Like there's some law that really encourages the creditors and the three major credit agencies to take all your stuff off of your credit report without you rectifying any of your debts. That was wrong. That was wrong. I looked into both of those. Complete lies. And then this something about there's a key $10 stock in the middle of Donald Trump's multi-billion-dollar portfolio that just links to all the US government money that is being moved around with the sovereign wealth fund that hasn't even been developed yet and all of the investment opportunities. And then they claim a single overlooked company, right? Trading for just that $10 a share and making you believe that it holds the key to that vast secret treasure trove of government assets where the government is still running off of tax dollars. Maybe by the time Trump gets out of office, they might have it set up where that treasure trove exists. But as it stands right now, it does not. A Treasure that Donald Trump is supposedly about to unleash on the world, making early investors millionaires is the lie that they're feeding you. Or maybe billions overnight is the expectation that some of these ads and the emails and text messages and other stuff is going to lead you to believe. I know it sounds amazing. It also sounds a little too good to be true, because if it was that true, then why the heck is everybody not on it? It is important that if you recognize that there is so much of an opportunity of a lifetime that nobody would talk about it, because if it was that rare, like winning the lottery, the more people that get into it, the more the money has to be spread out. The more money gets spread out, the less each person gets. Say, for example, lottery reaches $8 billion, highest it's ever been in history, but everybody's got the same lottery number. There's over 8 billion people on the planet. Everybody would get a fucking dollar. So, do you believe that if there was an opportunity that was so good to be true, knowing humanity's nature of being greedy, that somebody would tell everybody else how they could get a piece of that pie? Now, some people might look at it and say, well, hold on, buddy. You're doing a podcast telling us about the stock options, and you're telling everybody how to make that money. Yeah, because I'm like the fucking Robin Hood of stock options. I'm not here to be greedy, because I can only put so much money up and I'm only going to get a percentage back based off of how much I put up. There's more money accessible on the stock options because somebody's making bad trades. And if you get in there when I get in there, or a little after I get in there, you're going to make a little bit of money and I'm going to make a little bit of money, but that's going to keep the stocks moving, which is also going to allow people to make a little bit more money. Big difference, because I'm not promising you that you're going to get rich overnight. I'm telling you that when you buy into some of the stocks that we're going to be talking about today, and some of the stocks we're going to be talking about on Tuesdays, some of the stocks that I tell you throughout the week, that over the course of 5, 10, 20 years, if you continue to invest, if you continue to take your dividends and reinvest, that you will eventually reach that half million, million, $1.5 million status. Now, if you cash out and pull all your money out and go do something stupid with it, yeah, you're going to have to start over from scratch. But I can tell you that just what I've looked at, I've pieced together some numbers for August, and we're looking at a 35% return on just the August kind of trade, right? Most of the stocks are not doing that. That's realistic, though. The dividend rotation strategy on paper promises 168% return if you hit every single stock on the mark without missing out on any other stock. But when I look at, realistically speaking, if you take one stack of cash and put it towards each one of the stocks that do not overlap with one another, so you don't have to split the difference, you're looking at 35% return. But if you doubled the quantity of money that you were utilizing and you hit all the other ones that you missed, you probably would get 50% return off of the 1 month. But it's off of the 1 month. That happens once a quarter, not every month, because there's different interest rates for every stock that's being utilized. And we're going to be talking about that next week, Tuesday. So you got to understand there's a difference between the opportunity of a lifetime or a scam of the century. A scam of the century is like buy into it tonight, sell it by morning. You'll have 800% return. You can fix your whole life hypothetically. That bullshit right there, never fall into that, because it's not going to end well for you. I was actually just watching a movie about something similar to that just yesterday. And a guy sold his house, put all his money on his stock. He was supposed to sell it by morning. And it was crazy. The situation, he got arrested. He had all kinds of hell and damnation. By the time he got to the stock was negative 99.99%, where he had lost all of his money, and it was a pump and dump scam. And I'm like, bro, I wouldn't have even wasted my time on that skit. And the fact that when he got in and he was looking at it, it was at like 700%, 714% right before the police kicked the door in on him. I would have sold right then. So that after I got out of jail, my money would have been secure. So he said, uh, did you know that the largest hate group in America is black? We talking about money. He's talking about hate. Is that 50% return on each dollar? That's 50% return on each dollar that is in the dividend rotation strategy. And yeah, that dude was broke as fuck. He was broker than broke. He was broker than broke. He lost his house and all of his money. They by the end of the movie, they had to kill everybody that was related to the purchase of the house in order for him to maintain control of the house. It was crazy, and it wasn't even a house because it was a station in Korea. So actually, they were doing all this crap over an apartment, like a 750 square foot apartment. Not even not a 488 million dollar Drake house. Not like the Diddy house. Not Beyonce's house or Jay Z's house. No, it was like a 750 square foot apartment, probably smaller than that because it was just like a living room and a kitchen. So it probably was like a 500 square foot apartment. I was like, nah, bro. I wouldn't even waste my money talking about some buying a flat. What all that? When I hear flats, I think change it out. They talk about buying a flat, but that's what they were doing there, and I was like, no, that's too stupid. But this gentleman here, Derek, special shout out to Derek because he wants to be ridiculous right before we get started. Do we know that the largest hate group in America is black? Now, that's the most racist thing that I've ever heard, but I am going to tell you that the largest quantity of individuals by race would be African American individuals, and they hate everybody. They hate each other. They hate everybody that doesn't look like them. Apparently, they hate the Mexicans. They hate everybody. You can't find too many folks besides the weed man. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, I can't really say like he went there trying to troll the podcast. That's about where the line is. So once you cross over beyond that, that's gonna I'm gonna have to do something about it. But I just really wanted to go there real quick because I got a really good tan, but my credit score is way better than my tan. So but here's what we're gonna do today. First, we're gonna pull back the curtain. I want to show you guys the truth behind the viral ad campaign. We're going to take apart every claim from the so-called secret stock to the absurd $100 trillion figure and reveal the psychology and the trick that they're using behind trying to make that extra money for you guys. We'll dismantle this story piece by piece with verifiable facts. So you can't uh, assume that there isn't a way to protect yourself from this because there are ways that you can protect yourself from these type of predatory tricks. First and foremost, don't even click on the fucking email. But then once we've exposed the lie, we're going to find the truth and I'll show you guys where the real money is focused when it comes to Donald Trump's 2025 financial strategy. So we will look at his actual publicly disclosed stock portfolio, not the hidden secret one back in the cut. And we're going to analyze the growth stocks, the blue chip anchors, and the strategic plays that show a clear forward thinking investment plan. And this isn't speculation, it's based on financial filings and a hard look at his economic agenda. So you're not going to want to miss this. Um, Michael said 908 square feet is the average size of an apartment. Yeah, them motherfuckers is gonna be the people in Korea don't look at 908 square. They gonna look at 908 square feet like that's a big ass house. Because you got to understand, over there in Asia, they got some places that's got um apartments with no bathroom, like they just have a toilet but no shower, no tub or whatever. You got to go to the bathhouse and take baths. So that's a smaller bathroom. And then and some of us have a bathroom that's like 20 square feet, and some people have a bathroom that's like 5 foot by 8 foot. You got to understand that. Then you've got, if you just got the living room and on the other side of the living room is the kitchen, part of the living room, or if the kitchen and the living room are two different rooms. So when you're looking at 900 square feet, especially if you're looking at a two-bedroom apartment, you're looking at two bedrooms, maybe one, or well, at least one. But in America, you could have two bathrooms in there, three bathrooms in a 908 square foot apartment, like two and a half bathrooms. And then you could see a separate kitchen, stuff to that effect, without even having the garage outside. But not in Korea. So you're looking at probably half that. You're probably looking at 404 square feet. A special shout out to Josh. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. You said, give me your FICO score over YouTube. Nah, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But I can tell you that my FICO score is high enough for me to get the lowest interest rates on real estate. So I'm loving that. He said that's a good point. I told a guy from Japan, and he said that 204 square feet there would be four people living there. Yeah, that's true because they don't hoard shit like Americans hoard shit. They have a place that, like, they might have like sliding closets or something like that where they could put everything in. Their tables are fold down. They don't have a lot of chairs. They do a lot of kneeling and squatting and sitting on pillows. They have futons that they lay on. Everybody sleeps in the living room together instead of everybody having their own room with their own bed set and dining room set and living room set and all this other shit. Everybody communes together at this in the living space. So the living room is the bedroom, is the game room, is the the dining room. That's all one room. So 204 square foot can do a lot of shit for them in Japan. See me, I would be fucking pissed off. I would be pissed off. 204 square. Look now, 204 square feet. That's my fucking living room. Yeah, I could cut my house up into four apartments and still have extra space left over. Hold on now. With the way they got it going on over there. Make sure that y'all like and subscribe. And if y'all use those reaction buttons and show y'all support for what we're about to do, because we're about to start talking some money right now. Special shout out to Trey Sean. Ain't nobody playing no music around here, bro. He over here talking about some play 50s. Nah, ain't nobody playing 50s unless you talking about scratch offs. So let's start by tackling the core claim of the ad, that specific $10 stock will give you access to a share of $100 trillion of secret government assets, all because of a plan from Donald Trump. We're going to talk about this lie real quick. He said, I'm living in your living room. That's what a lot of people, your house too big when you park your car in your living room and you got your got the TV on the other side of the room. I mean, we ain't buying TVs no more. We're buying projectors, and then we're gonna get Bluetooth surround sounds that connect to the projector. That way, the speakers are all over the place, and then we can just use an entire wall for a 150 or 200 inch panoramic view kind of thing, and get the movie theater experience. Because the projector might cost you $200, where a two or 300 square foot or two or 300 inch TV might cost you a couple thousand. So $200 for a projector, $300 for some speakers, and a lot of money for $300 for some speakers. You're getting subwoofers, you're getting floor models, you're getting a light bar in the front, all this other stuff, remote Bluetooth, everything like that. You've paid about $500 to $700 for a full surround sound system that makes the neighbors call the police on you. Way cheaper than buying a big ass TV that you've got to carry. When you could really fit, if you live like I live, you could fit everything that you want in the trunk of your car and still have a full setup. You get beds, can sleep number beds. You can roll them bad boys up, put them into a bag. You ain't got to worry about getting movers to carry that shit. I'm telling you, bro. But a sleep number bed like $10,000 these days, $15,000. Y'all got to think about what y'all buying before y'all buying it. But let's get back to the story real quick because this is a powerful story. If If you think about how this is built to play on hope and distrust of the system. Oh snap! Special shout out to Doc, Matt Doc. Oh snap! But the moment you look at it closely, and that's what I do before I start touching anything. I look at shit closely. The whole thing falls apart. To be crystal clear, there is no factual basis to the claim at all. These guys are tripping. Special shout out to Steven. I was trying to hold out for you, buddy, but we just started getting into it, so you haven't missed anything other than I'm telling you guys, buy Orchid Island, buy AGNC, and buy Zim stock, start picking it up as much as possible between now and the end of the month because AGNC and Orchid Island are around the 30th of the month. Uh, Zim is on the 2nd of August, and that's going to really run into a weekend. So I think Zim is either going to be on Monday or Tuesday, the ex dividend date at the beginning of August, and Orchid Island and AGNC are going to be wrapping things up over the weekend. So the last weekend of the month. So you're gonna have to pick it up on a Friday or a Thursday at the latest, so that you have it before the following Monday or Tuesday. In order for you to get rid of it on Wednesday, the third. So get it while you can, because we got 9 days left of August, and out of those 9 days, because we got 31 days in a month. Out of those 9 days, you technically got 7 days, 6 or 7 days left to pick up that Orchid Island and that AGNC stock in order to be on the ex dividend date. And if you do a buy and hold, it's going to give you money every month. Get as much of it as you can. I know y'all get at least one. For those of you that get paid bi-weekly, you get at least one more paycheck by the end of the month, and you take some money out of that and throw down on it. And then when you get that ex dividend, you're like, oh snap, it do pay me. Then you're gonna put some more money in the next time. But Steve said a little late, had to finish up some stuff. But we here though. Hey, you know me, I started 10 minutes late too. So, it is what it is. You know me, never let the sun rise without going live, but I don't start on time. I'm fashionably late for my own fucking show. Save money. This is what Michael tells everybody all the time. Save money. Buy estate sale items like big screen TVs with sound systems plus wall mounts, less than $100. He said, what do I do with the extra savings? Invest in a dividend rotation strategy. But he is right. Yes, you can go to estate sales. Estate sales is when people are auctioning off some dead guy stuff. You can go over there and go buy everything on the low. It's fantastic. And then once you start picking up everything on the low, you can either pick it up on the low and then sell it for more than what you paid for it and get you a large return off of it, or you could pick it up and have it at a massively reduced rate in comparison to you buying it directly from the manufacturer or buying it from the store. So he is definitely right about that. You can pick it up, you can leverage it. It works well for you. It's like a higher class garage sale. That's what estate sales are. Estate sales are all of the nice things that poor people don't want to sell when they can't afford stuff. Uh, Garage sales is like selling all of their junk so that they don't throw it in the trash. But an estate sale is all the best stuff that the dead guy couldn't take to hell with him when he went. So you could slide by. You might even be able to pick up the car out the driveway. You never know. Steven said, I bet. Got it on my calendar locked in. Sun ain't rising. You know that. Yes, sir. You know that. Now, I want to tell you guys about that $1 trillion scam that they're talking about because it is pure fiction. First, let's talk about the magic number, the $100 trillion. To give you some perspective, the entire the entire gross domestic product (GDP) of the planet, the value of every produced item in every country on Earth is estimated to be around $105 trillion. Okay, let's start there. Uh, Michael says, I'd rather keep the money in my pocket than yours. I agree with you 100%. Get some hands out my pockets. Now, that was from Martin Luther King. No, the Malcolm X movie when they iced that man. Ah, he would have been great. Uh, The ad claims that the US government is hiding a pile of assets nearly equal to the entire world's economic output. That's just mathematically absurd. So that 105 and that usually is a bait for people who don't know anything about the economy, who don't know anything about the government, who doesn't know anything about money, who doesn't know anything about investing, and they get that email probably because they're on a list serve because they looked into an investment seminar somewhere, and then their information just got sold because in that seminar you're going to put your name, your phone number, and your email on there. Real quick side story, since I've got a few 100,000 of you guys popping in right now, you need to have a bullshit email. Okay. And then you have your personal email, your business email, and then, if you need other emails for other things, subscription email, your video game email, that way they don't bleed into one another. Your bullshit email is what you use when you go places that's a little bit sketchy. You want to check into it, but they won't let you look at whatever they got going on without them getting some information about you. You want to have a dropped phone number for that shit too, like text now or something like that, a Google Voice number or something like that. Well, with the bullshit email comes a bullshit Google Voice number. There you go. So then they don't call you and leave you harassing ads and setups on your real line because you went to this seminar or you signed up for this program or you got offered this free vacation that requires you to show up to this seminar where they're going to try to sell you some shit and they're going to get all your documentation. You're going to get rid of all of that by putting up that legit bullshit email, bullshit phone number, and then walk out, right? So let's start there. But if you didn't think about that before I told you that today, you probably used your real email and now they're sending you shit. If you look at it, they said $100 trillion worth of US money. We are 30 in it trillion in debt, right? With before Elon quit, about 175 billion recovered, if I remember correctly. No, yeah, 175 million. Yeah, 175 billion recovered. I had to think about that real quick because right after he recovered the 175, Trump, no, so it was 175 million, I think, that was recovered. And then Trump turned around and spent 600 million. So it's either million or billion, but the amount of money that he spent on the defense bill is 600, and the amount of money that Elon recovered was 175. So regardless of if it's millions or billions, we're still 30 trillion in debt, and that's supposed to be offset by the tariffs. And they're talking about the government has $100 trillion of movable money. Fuck out of here. That was the first piece of shit that came out the woodwork. Now, before I go any further, uh, I would love to highlight for the troll that just popped in and said bookshelf fake. I love the fact that everybody else here came to get ideas and information about stock portfolios. And yo dumbass came in here to come and talk about the books behind me. If you ain't come here looking for money, what the hell? What the hell was you doing here? And then we've got the individuals that love to do it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, let's go ahead and start talking about this ad claim. Now, the ad claim that the US government is hiding a pile of assets nearly equal to the entire world's economic output, and we already understand that that's extremely absurd. So, where do they get this number from? Scammers are slick. They often anchor their lies in a shred of truth. So sometimes they twist discussions about the national debt. Other times they'll point to obscured and often disputed estimates. For example, a 2013 report from one think tank, the Institution of Energy Research, estimated the value of the US government's oil, gas, and coal reserves could be as high as $150 trillion in value, right? Scammers grab a number like that, strip away the context, and present it as a liquid fund ready to be handed out. Michael says, I'm not going to worry about that. Your kids will pay for it. It will be passed from one generation to the next generation. He is right because that's what we're doing with Social Security. That's exactly what we're doing with Social Security. Everybody who's working a W 2 job right now is paying the Social Security for everybody who's no longer working. Everybody who's working a W 2 job right now is paying the disability Social Security for everybody who's never worked and is getting a check from the government. Everybody who's paying in the Social Security right now is paying towards the HUD program that is paying for the vouchers for the people who can't afford to pay for their house. So yeah, they're going to pass that debt on from person to person. And then those people who are paying into that program right now are hoping when they make it to 65 and 75 years old that there'll be some money left for them to get their shot. If you ain't trying to invest, it's not going to be there. Thank you for all supporting me. Oh yeah, because Michael's been here for a while. Michael's been here for a while. He retired, y'all. So now here's a reality check. The official financial report of the US government as of early 2025 lists total federal assets at around $5.7 trillion. That includes everything: cash, student loans, federal land, buildings, and military hardware. Hold on. He says he's 70. So's my dad. Yeah. You're 70, my dad's 70. He was in the military back in 76. So I get to be a military brat. I can't really say brat though. I can say military connoisseur. Because I make this shit look good. You get me some military fatigues. It's gonna be pinstripe camouflage. Now, pay attention, y'all, because it gets good. It gets real good. It's a lot of money, but it's not $100 trillion, and it certainly isn't a secret. More importantly, you can't just unlock these assets and dump them into a stock market. You just can't. You can't sell the Lincoln Memorial to fund a stock buyback. You just can't liquidate Yellowstone National Park and hand the cash to the shareholders. The whole idea is based on a complete misrepresentation of how national assets work. Now, what about that $10 stock? This is a classic feature of what the FBI calls ramp and dump. That ramp and dump scheme, which is exactly what I was talking to you guys about that movie with that guy who was like, "Oh yeah, if you buy in, da 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 da," and then it died by morning. That's exactly what they're talking about right here. Michael said, "Made two new friends, Ben Gay and Preparation H." But what about that chick, hydrocortisone? Think about that chick, hydrocortisone. You need that one. Now, with these rampant dump schemes, we're going to look at this. The price is chosen for a reason. $10 feels accessible, not a pricey blue chip like Microsoft, but not a risky penny stock either. And that's true because the majority of the best stocks that I have provided you guys in the dividend rotation strategy are under $10 because Orchid Island is like 705 or 750. AGNC is like 980. We just made a bunch of money off of GlobalNet, and GlobalNet was like $5 or $7. Two Harbor was expensive. Two Harbor was like $35, and Arbor Realty was like $15 a share, $16 a share. AG Mortgage was like $15 or $17 a share, but it's still like $20, like two packs of cigarettes, like three drinks at the bar. Like these shares are not that expensive. So when you think about $10 a share, it feels like a real company, yet it's cheap enough to buy a bunch of shares and dream about them soaring in value. These ads never name the stock, which is different from what I do because I name the stock, I give you the ticker of the stock, and then sometimes I even track the stocks day by day and tell you guys what the hell's happening with the stock. And you can go back and everything that I tell you in this podcast, you can go back and hand God. You can ask the Google lady and she will tell you, you Google that shit and it will tell you, yo, that stock exists. The value is there. If it's not that price right now, it was that price earlier today. It might be that price tomorrow, but he was right. That's what happens when you come to this show. They will tell you that he was right. Make sure y'all like and subscribe as y'all come through here. Who is this Tim? Listen to him now. Listen to him now. But that's the hook, though. To get the ticker symbol, you have to click the link. That's where they catch you. He said, I approve this ad. Special shout out to Robert Newby. He said, I approve this ad. Look, now y'all about to learn something right now. We about to shake the room right quick. Make sure y'all like and subscribe as y'all come through here. Use that reaction button because everybody that wants stock information, y'all are getting it today as long as y'all ride this wave with me because I'm about to break it down for you. Do not click a link in an email that you do not know where it came from. If you were not getting a return email or you did not ask a specific company or entity to email you, if you just get a random cold call email, get rid of it. Because as soon as you click the link, sometimes as soon as you open the email, you got it. I'll take that. He said, yo, you're Blade. I've been getting that for a long period of time. Blade Trinity. Actually, I almost got that hairstyle right now. Just working on it. Now, because you have to click the link, which almost always takes you to a sales page for an expensive investment newsletter, these are those scam guys that are like, oh yeah, they have you watch their commercial, they have you click the ad or click a link. It'll take you to another page. You're gonna fill out all your personal information. That's how they get your email to scam you into some other shit down the line. Then they take you to this other location, and then they throw something else in there, and then all of a sudden you start buying shit. You got to buy this and buy that to get the information that you needed, and that's not really what you wanted. You wanted a clicker to the fucking stock that you can get fucking money. That's what you were trying to do. And that's not what they did with you. So you got to be prepared for that. Michael said, same as phone calls, no ID, no answer. Bro, I do not answer the phone anymore, ever. And I run a business. Fuck it. Call me, leave a message. It will send me a text message. I will read the text message and then I will determine if it is relevant enough for me to call you the fuck back. Because think about this, anybody who has ever called a business that doesn't have a dedicated call center, do they ever answer the fucking phone? Not without putting you on a 30 to 45-minute hold. So, since my business is not in the business of customer service, I don't give a fuck. Leave a message and I will call you back when I am done with whatever I got going on right now. So, I just screen all my calls. That's how it is. Now, the people behind these schemes aren't selling financial advice. I'm not selling financial advice. I don't like these schemes. I am giving you guys free information. And if you like it and you benefit from it, you throw something after the fact, I'm going to put more money in your pocket than a Catholic church. You can slap me 10% on the back end. Unlike a lot of these scams that will do you dirty because they will tell you, give me money up front. I will make you 100 times more. Nah, bro, why don't you take the difference? Why don't you make me 100 times more and take your cut and then give me what's left over? No, no, no. That's not how it works. That's exactly how it fucking works. If you make me $100,000 and you want 10,000 out of it, give me $90,000 and leave me alone. But what you mean that I got to give you $10,000 before you can make me $100,000? That's all right. I don't need it. No elevated music. Next 20 minutes got you listening to Thriller before Neverland. Now, while they're selling you on these the false impression of financial advice, they're selling you on a subscription. They create a false sense of urgency and exclusivity to make you feel like you're getting in on a secret. Fuck that. It's public knowledge. And that's one of the reasons why I tell you come to this channel, because we're going to give you public knowledge that you can curate, you can back that shit up, and then you can take every information dollar that I bring to you, take it to the bank, cash it, get your money back. I'm telling you, this is where it's at. Now, the strategy is simple for them. They buy a huge position in an obscure, thinly traded stock, and this is how they benefit. They then create a sensational story around it and blast it out to millions. As people get drawn in by the hype and start buying, the price gets ramped up. Once it artificially inflates, the promoter dumps it. All their shares are going to a huge profit because they bought the stock before they told everybody about it. This is going to cause the stock to crash, leaving everyday investors with worthless bags. If the stock was funded by the person pumping this information, when they pull all of their money out, the stock has no value. That sucks. The FBI has warned about a dramatic increase in these schemes. Taylor Swift got arrested for one of these once before. And you guys hear a lot about it. Trump has Trump coin, which is made out of meme coin, and Elon Musk has Dogecoin, which is made out of meme coin. And meme coin is a cryptocurrency that typically this pump and dump scheme comes from. They take a large quantity of money, they put it into a stock, people buy into it, and then the original investor of the currency pulls all the money out of the currency, which tanks the stock. And then everybody else starts running from the stock, and then the stock has zero value. It's crazy. Now, there's a report out that says 300% surge in complaints in 2025 about this type of scenario occurring compared to the previous year, compared to 2024. 300% more pump and dump schemes have been happening. So you guys got to be prepared. If you don't recognize that damn stock, that's why I tell you guys, don't just listen to me, do your research. Take the information that I give you out of the comment section and then write it down and then go do your own research on it. The stock is still going to be there because it's been around for 15, 20, 30, 40 years. And the next time you feel comfortable with buying into it, you buy into it, but you bought into it because I told you that it existed, not because I'm going to benefit from it. So back in the day, back in the 80s, this would have been a situation where somebody was telling you that they was giving out free turkeys at the community center. This one of them situations where, somebody telling you that they're giving out free stimulus checks if you file your 1040. That's the kind of information I'm giving you, like, hey, bro, this exists. If you use it, you will benefit from it. Now, don't worry, I am, unlike all these other people, gonna give you stock information. So make sure that you stay in this one. Emotions always get involved, and I tell you, do not live on emotions ever. Do not live on emotions. Your emotions are for your relationship, but your decision making is not for your emotions. I got the emotions of a fucking Vulcan when it comes down to making things work in life, because if I act on emotion, I'm not going to make the right choice. You should have done your homework, like Michael said. Special shout out to Eric. Eric told us about BBAI earlier this week. And if y'all didn't know, BBAI, last time I looked at it, was 775. BBAI is a good tech stock with the big, beautiful bill being passed and all the technology that's being pushed in 2025. BBAI is a good stock to get in on. And that's a stock that I got from one of the guys that came and watched the show. I didn't even know about BBAI until Eric said something about it. And when Eric said something about it, I said, let me look this shit up. And I just as sure as I found the stock, and I was like, holy shit, this is a good ass stock, but it's a growth stock. And I was playing around with cash stocks, because I tell people who have a hard time with investing money that if you put your money into a stock that pays you back, then you don't have to worry about taking your money out to get paid. You could put your money there, leave it there, and get paid, and that helps individuals grow their money faster. So that's one of the reasons why I talked about the growth stock in that perspective. He said, I'm getting emotional. I'm getting emotional. Finally, there's a Trump connection that they throw in there. Why use his name? It's a powerful marketing tactic called affinity fraud. Scammers exploit the trust people have within a specific group by attaching Trump's name. They tap into an audience that often is ready to believe he's fighting a corrupt system and has a plan to help his supporters. And they might hit a secret executive order or a backroom deal that will trigger this windfall, right? However, fact checking organizations and major media outlets have found zero evidence of any such plan. Trump ain't doing that shit. Trump's actual economic proposals revolve around public debates on tariffs, deregulation, and tax cuts. The story of a secret $100 trillion asset release is pure fiction, designed for one reason: to make you give them your money. Now, I do want to say that in addition to all of those regulations, here we are with the Republicans. I want to say what there's a lot of y'all here took the tax uh, 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 bill off of the suppressor and is one step away from taking it away from ATF control, where we can just pick that fucker up like you pick up an extra mag and just walk around with one the way you walk around with extra mags. And that's something that you would have thought would have been done by a Democrat, but no, they pushing them gun laws, bro. Eric said, question is: did the big dog brokerages beat down the market law enough to set up the market to soar today? No. The stock, okay, so the stock did go up. ETFs did go up today. ETFs did go up today. But I'm not going to say that ETFs went soaring up. Okay, I'm not going to say that. ETFs didn't go soaring up. That's ridiculous. But any ad or email promising the cheap stocks that is about to explode because of secret government actions is almost certainly a scam. So when you see the market starting to shift, some of the times, because I know Eric, you say that the market itself is soaring. The market is balanced right now, Eric. You're gonna have uh, the Dow might go up, Nasdaq might go down, S&P 500 might go up, two out of three might go up, all three might go up for a short. That's when it's soaring, when all three of them go up. But two out of three of them are usually up. One of them might be up, and two of them might be a little down. But then they do a bounce back in a couple of days, and we're in August. Technically, we're in July, but we got like 9 days left in July. We're in August when it comes down to what's about to happen next. And the fact is that we're creeping into the school year. So consumer stocks are going to have an increase in sales for school supplies, increase in sales of kids' clothes, increase in sales of school uniforms. Um, Colleges, so we're going to have an increase of loans, um, which is going to have anybody that is backing a lender scenario. You're going to have a lot of that happening because the tariffs have leveled off between China and the United States. We have an increase in real estate development. And all of this means that whatever happened 3 days ago is going to be offset by what's about to happen and over the next 3 days. So you're not going to see really, if you're a day trader, you're going to see the drawbacks. If you're a buy it in the morning, sell it in an afternoon trader, you're going to see it throughout the day. But if you're going to pick it up this week and get rid of it next week, kind of thing, you're not going to see the type of trend changes. If you're buying it this month and selling it next month, you're not going to see these types of trend changes where it fluctuates. But you want a volatile market. You want a volatile market. All you have to do with a volatile market is watch it go down, buy it on its way down so that when it goes back up, because what goes down must go up in the stock market. Same thing with COVID. It went down further than people wanted, but then it went back up. And after COVID, fucking crypto is in the 100 grand area. Back in the day, crypto was between 5 and 60 grand. Now it's over 100 grand, 150 grand. It used to never be that high. Michael says, I know where the market is going. The dump. Keep an eye on SOFI. So Eric is telling you guys, keep an eye on SOFI. I'm telling you guys to buy into Orchid Island and AGNC and Zim. Keep an eye on those as well, because those are the ones that are going to have X dividends paying out coming soon. Which good because it will go up as soon as it dumps. As soon as it takes a shit, it's going to go up. Now, with these scams that go out there, though, there's a financial clickbait designed to play on your emotions. Real investing is about research, fundamentals, and managing your risks, not finding a magic ticket to instant wealth. And that's why we've taken apart the lie. So let's find out where some of the smart money really is going. So if y'all really want to get into this, this is where we're going to get into this. To understand Donald Trump's investment strategy, we have to start by admitting that full transparency is a challenge. So while his public financial disclosure offers a glimpse, many assets are held within the Trump organization or in a trust, which is what I told you guys to do when I gave you guys all information about getting yourselves trust, especially offshore non-residential trusts, where nobody knows who owns what, but you're still getting paid off of it. These public filings are often reported values in broad ranges, giving us more of a sketch than a perfect photograph. Michael says fertilizer is good, plants is rising. Good metaphor now. Still, by analyzing these public documents and combining them with his stated economic policies, we could piece together a pretty clear investment blueprint. He says, what are you doing? It looks interesting. We're talking about grabbing a bunch of stocks and putting our money into it and making us a bunch of money this year. That's what we're doing today. Today is about stocks. So if you came here to make some money, swing around, hang out, chill out. Now, this isn't about a magic stock, though. We're going to tell you about real stuff. It's about a diversified strategy, and this strategic approach will reflect a specific view of the American and global economy. Make sure y'all like and subscribe as y'all come through, and also hit those reaction buttons as well. Now, the portfolio is split into three main buckets. The first, and by far the biggest, is his personal brand investments, a speculative, high risk, high reward play. The second is a surprisingly conventional collection of blue chip American tech and growth stocks designed to ride major market trends. And the third consists of stable dividend paying companies in the consumer and healthcare sectors, which provide a solid foundation. Now, this is just a little bit of what he's got going on. And this is why you guys need to stay in. So if y'all came in, y'all been riding waves for the last hour, y'all ride this wave for the next 45 minutes. We're going to be giving you all the information. So like Michael said, now y'all need to listen. When you put these three pillars together, a clear strategy comes into view. It's a strategy that bets big on its own brand and political future, while hedging the bet with stakes in some of the most powerful and innovative companies in the US economy. It's a mix of high stakes speculations and sensible long term growth investing. Now, this analysis isn't an endorsement or a recommendation about him. It is a look at how a major public figure's portfolio is structured to understand the thinking behind the money, not even the man. So we're moving from the fantasy of scam ads to reality of SEC filings. So let's start with the single most important assets in his portfolio. At the heart of Donald Trump's public disclosure wealth is a single extremely volatile asset. Are y'all ready for this? I told y'all I put this shit in the comment section so y'all know where to find it when y'all want to come back and watch this show and get this information. Trump's media and technology group is one of the first places that you will find a stock for Trump. Okay. The parent company of True Social, which is Donald Trump's social media platform, which trades under the ticker DJT. Okay, we're gonna throw that in there so that y'all know what y'all are looking for. I want y'all to pay attention to this because I'm going to be giving y'all some information. We're going to be speeding through this over the next hour. I want y'all to know what y'all getting into. This isn't just another stock for him. It's his largest individual holding, valued in the billions based on his ownership of nearly 115 million shares. Understand, DJT is his key to understanding the Trump's finances. You daily make live streams. We started and 15 hour and 20 minutes ago. And I give you a different topic every night of the week. And we specifically are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday talking about money. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we talk about how to fix yourself. And Sunday is questions and comments from fans. Now, he didn't just buy the stock, he founded and controls the company, and its brand is completely tied to him. The stock went public in early 2024 through a merger with a special purpose acquisition company, which is often a faster way to enter the market. From day one, DJT has been a classic meme stock. Its price has been driven more by social media sentiment and Trump's political career than by traditional financial metrics like revenue or profits. So the stock has seen a wild swing with a 52-week range between $11.75 and $54.68. So let's be blunt about the fundamentals here. According to its own filings, Trump's media is a very young company. In its most recent trialing 12 months of data, because he just picked it up in 2024. It reported revenue of only about 3.67 million while posting a net loss of over 400 million. The company has even stated in SEC filings that it expects to lose money for the foreseeable future, and this puts it squarely in the speculative growth category. People aren't buying DJT for its current profits. They're buying it based on a belief in its future potential, a belief that hinges almost entirely on the power of the Trump brand. The same way those Trump towers were building off of that, those Trump towers that didn't get finished off of the Trump brand. The argument for DJT is this unique brand connection has supporters believing Truth Social has a captive audience that could be leveraged into a bigger media ecosystem, maybe with a streaming service or news outlet. I need to go and see what they got going on over there because I might have to swing my podcast over there and grab a few hundred thousand other Trump supporters to come in here and start shifting up the gears of the podcast. But they see Trump's political influence as a marketing machine no other company has. Now, the argument against it points to a harsher financial reality. Critics question its ability to grow beyond a niche audience, and it struggles to make money because it loses way more than it makes. And the intense competition from giants like Twitter X, Facebook, and TikTok, and for Christ's sakes, YouTube. For Trump, his stake is huge, but until recently was mostly on paper. His shares were subject to a lockup period, preventing him from selling them for 6 months. Now that the lockup is over, the market is watching to see if he or other insiders sell any of their shares. In short, DJT is the ultimate bet on himself. It's the value in a direct reflection of how the market sees his political and cultural power. In a high risk, high volatile asset that drives the speculative part of his portfolio with the potential for huge gains, but also the risk of a dramatic fall. Because since he's got billions in there, if he cashed out them fucking billions by morning, yo, $54 a share will be negative $54 a share. You got to be careful about that. Now, beyond all the consuming focus on DJT, Trump's financial disclosures show a second vital part of his strategy, a major investment in America's biggest tech companies. This is where the portfolio shifts from personal branding to a pragmatic bet on the forces shaping our economy. Now, while True Social might be his challenge to the tech establishment, his money shows he knows where the real value and growth are. Think about this real quick while we start talking about money. He invested money into a $400 million loss without going down 20 minutes of explanation. If he took a $400 million loss, he's got a $400 million tax deduction. And if that is 10% of the money that he made off of whatever he's going to get taxed off of, you do realize that that $400 million loss could potentially cover $4 billion. That could cover $4 billion worth of profit and kind of exempt him from some taxes on that. Think about that real quick. This man know what he's doing. His portfolio includes holdings in, ready for this, y'all, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, and Google. I'm giving y'all these stocks now. Pay attention to the comment section. I'm giving y'all these stocks now. Y'all can't say that y'all don't know what's going on. Over here, I got a bunch of y'all over here on Twitter. We're putting up these stocks. Y'all need to see what's going on here. We're giving it to Twitter X as well. That way they can see what's going on here. And this isn't the half of it. These are just the ones that he's holding on to in the tech area. How you save taxes on purchasing assets? Well, when you buy into certain assets that are tax deducted towards a business, the purchase of it is the loss. So when you buy a company car, the car lost money on the purchase of the car. The company lost money. When the car starts making money for the company, that's when you start getting. That's when you start getting a gain. When you buy a real estate property, the loss is the purchase of the property. The loss is the rehabilitation of the property. You spent money. Anytime you spend money, that's a loss. If you take out a massive mortgage to pay for the property, that mortgage or that loan, that's a loss. You borrowed money from somebody and now you got to pay that back. That's a loss. You didn't get a profit when somebody lends you money. And when you're paying them back with interest, that's a loss. And any loss in your financial platform is offset by any gains. Gains is when you make more money than you spend. Profits are when you make more money than you spend. And taxable income is the amount of money that can be taxed off of the amount of money that you made off of the amount of money that you spent. So can you ultimately make money and not get taxed at the same time? Yes. If you spend enough of it, typically they tax you around about 40% of your wealth, 30% of your wealth, depending on if you got an LLC or C corporation. And typically when they cap how much money they're going to tax you on, if you have more than that in deductions, you can end up with a $0 tax bill every year and still make way more money than that. Not to mention with C corporations, you have the capability of donating 10% to a nonprofit. And like the vice president who owned his own charity, if you donate to the charity that you control, the money didn't go nowhere. But because it's a registered 501c3 entity, the IRS will recognize that as a deduction. So you could donate yourself $100,000 out of every $1 million that you make, and that $100,000 is tax deducted because you control the charity. Think about that real quick. and much, much more. Like Michael said, ask Warren Buffett. I'm telling y'all, we got this. He made you broke off to 7-Eleven, and now you're good. I'm telling y'all, look now, pay attention while we're going through this. We got like half a set to go. This isn't just a random collection of popular stocks I'm talking to you about. It's a strategic move into AI, cloud computing, and digital dominance. Because if y'all know, Google controls everything. Google is the most dominant search engine used. Everybody has a Gmail email account, and most people link their cell phone and their gaming platform to their Google email. A lot of people are starting to utilize Google Tech, such as Google Voice, to have a phone number that's attached to the email. Most apps that function your Android coming off of Google Store, Google Play Store with Google Wallet. Look now, Google's running a lot of shit now. So no, he's backing giants. Now let's break down why each of these makes sense in a growth strategy. First up is Microsoft. Microsoft has the ticker of MSFT. I want y'all to take that down real quick. MSFT. Oh yeah, virtual reality is going to be a son of a bitch. People aren't paying attention. Microsoft, it got the ticker MSFT. It said, what do you think of the evidence that came out that Tolushi Gabbard reported on about Obama's administration? They was talking shit about Obama back in the day when Obama put mustard on his hot dogs. So I mean, he didn't cheat on his wife while he was in office the way most presidents do. His kids didn't go to prison for doing something they had no business doing. The man didn't do much of anything that most presidents would do. If they're going to draw a scandal like 8 years after he got out of office, I mean, it's a little late now. Uh, I'm going to lean to the magnitude of he's in a different social class that I'm in, and I would less likely cross his path unless I deliberately went to wherever he's at to go see him. And his decisions in 2008 have no bearing on my life in 2025. So I could care less. If he did something that killed my dog or took one of my kids from me or something like that, then yeah, I'd have a problem. But nah, I'm like, hey, Obama did what he had to do for um education when I was in school. Now this guy is saying that he's enjoying my OnlyFans material. Well, if you are enjoying my OnlyFans material, make sure that you pay for it. Throw some money at the channel and show me some love. Virtual real estate like Atlas Earth. That's a big fintech thing. It really does make you money, just not as fast as you thought. It's the biggest scandal since Watergate. No, it ain't. The biggest scandal since Watergate was those 35 felonies that Donald Trump had right before he ran for president, and they swept it under the rug because he got elected. That's the biggest scandal since Watergate. Now, Microsoft has become a giant in cloud computing and AI. Its Azure platform is a dominant force, and its partnership with OpenAI, where OpenAI also partners with Runway and Lionsgate in the movie industry, and they put a center around AI revolution. So for an investor wanting to bet on the AI boom, Microsoft is one of the safest and most powerful plays. Its fiscal third quarter of 2025 revenue from Azure grew by 33%, showing its strength in capitalizing on AI-driven demand. Uh, at listening post, you must have been on Wesley Snipes. Not really. You make this. I want to watch this daily. Well, if you want to watch it daily, then you need to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and then follow the channel. Then you'll be able to see me every day of the week. Hit the notification bell. Then you'll be able to see me every day of the week. Now, pay attention because the next one that we're talking about is Nvidia. Nvidia, NVDA. That's one of the ones that I was telling you guys about. I want to make sure that we cover this over the next hour. I don't want to waste too much of y'all's time tonight. I'm giving it to y'all over here on Twitch and Twitter as well. But you can see the replay of the show and get all of these tickers straight out of the comment section. Nvidia's GPUs are the essential chip for training and running advanced AI models. The company dominates this market, and its financial results have been explosive. So for fiscal year 2025, Nvidia's reported an incredible full year revenue of $130.5 billion, which is up 114% from the previous year, thanks to massive demands from data centers. An investment in Nvidia is a direct bet that this AI arms race will continue. Then there's the consumer tech giant Apple and Amazon. So let me give you Apple and then let me give you Amazon. And then I'm going to speed through both of these. I want you guys to make sure that y'all like and subscribe because we're doing stuff like this on a regular basis. Apple has a fortress of brand loyalty with its ecosystem of hardware and software. Amazon, even with its unionized system that they got going on right now, dominates e-commerce, while its Amazon Web Service, AWS, powers a huge chunk of the internet. Both companies are so woven into daily life that they are core holdings in almost any US growth portfolio. Michael says storage units for computer information, Amazon sold 10. Bro, if you if you don't do nothing else, go buy yourself a storage facility because that is guaranteed easy money. You pay 3 people to run the whole fucking facility, and people pay for space. Some people pay for space for shit that they forget that they even got over there. It's fantastic. You make the tenants pay for the insurance for the place. So if something happens, everybody else's renter's insurance will cover the place, will cover the damages. It's minimal overhead, maximum profits. Very good cash flow in storage units. This is what we do on this show, y'all. We talk about how to make money, bro. We not bullshitting. We not sitting over here complaining about how life sucks. We're not going to complain about the economy. We're not going to talk about the left wing or the right wing or which the middle, what side of the plane these fuckers is on. We're talking about how we can put money in our pockets so we can stop being broke ass motherfuckers. That's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to be higher value men because we made money, we're thinking smarter, and we're living better lives. We just got to do it in a financially responsible fashion. Now, the next stock we're going to be talking about is Alphabet. Y'all know Alphabet as Google. Michael said $227 per share today for Amazon stock. That is some good ass investments, bro. You know what? They might start passing up the value of Tesla stock since everybody ran with that 14% dip because Tesla stock was almost at $500 a share. Not anymore. Now, Google's parent company, y'all got to think about this. Alphabet is Google's parent company. The same way TikTok's parent company is ByteDance. Pay attention. Despite more competition in AI, Google is still the king of online search engines, just like I told y'all. A business that generates enormous profits. Its cloud division is a strong number 3, and it's pouring billions into its own AI research with its Gemini models that are regularly seen in the Samsung models, most Android models, but you'll see it in the Samsung division. So anybody who's picking up a Galaxy S something or other Ultra, you're gonna have Gemini on that bitch. Michael said, retire early. If y'all listening to me, y'all gonna retire early. Now, together, these 5 companies create a powerful growth engine in anybody's portfolio. He said it's leveling off. Buy 10 shares and hold. He ain't lying, y'all. He ain't lying. Now, there aren't fringe players here. They are the market leaders and the main beneficiaries of the biggest technological shift since the internet. Holding these stocks means positioning the portfolio to benefit directly from the rise of AI and enduring power of US technology. So if you get it and keep it, you will gain substantial. And if you're doing buy and holds on growth stocks, that's when I was telling you guys, instead of selling it, you leverage it in a cash loan. You use cash stocks that are paying out dividends every month to pay on the cash loan. You can buy assets cash up front, and you can keep your stock and have your dividends pay on the loan, and you don't have to do shit. So whatever lifestyle that you're living off of whatever money you've got coming in, not affected by that trifecta, and you're owning everything. You don't necessarily have to own everything. You could put everything you own into a trust. Your cars can be in a trust for just the cars. Your real estate can be in a trust for just your real estate. Your money can be in a trust for just your money. And all three of them don't fuck with one another. You can have businesses that are in a trust for just your businesses, where the trust for your assets, like your cars, can be leased to your business, where that's a tax deduction, and trust for assets like your house can be leased to you, where you're renting your house from yourself. So you don't own your house, but you have full control over your house because you're the renter. All of this shit works out in your favor. This is why some people just can't be found because they're not on record anyway. Michael said, now you can split the stock. He going in. Now, it proves a crucial balance when you look at what we just did to the high risk nature of the DJ holding. Now, final piece of the disclosure portfolio as crucial balance and diversification, a selection of rock solid blue chip American companies. These are the cash cow stocks that offer stability, reliable dividends, and a defense against market swings. So while tech stocks provide a growth and DJT brings the risk, these blue chips from the portfolio foundations uh, brings the balance. The two clearest examples are Johnson and Johnson and the Coca-Cola. So I'm going to give it to you right now. Johnson and Johnson, which has been around since the tobacco companies. I'm gonna give this to Twitter and Twitch as well. Johnson and Johnson and the Coca-Cola company. And y'all got the tickers on these things, so y'all can go and look at these stocks and go grab these stocks yourself. At first, these companies might seem out of place next to high flying tech stocks, but their inclusion is a sign of a smart, well built portfolio. Talking about it today, I'm going to go look at what the cash dividend payout of some of these stocks are and see if I can throw it into the buy and hold area right after our dividend rotation strategy. They diversify across different sectors because Johnson and Johnson is in healthcare, while Coca-Cola is a classic consumer staple. And these sectors often react differently than technology to economic changes. People still buy medicine and beverages in a recession, which makes these stocks defensive. Eric says that's a fact. Don't trust your friends, especially if they are stockbrokers with your money. You got to research it for yourself, y'all. You got to get in there and get it for yourself. You shouldn't even trust a stockbroker with your money. Truth. When you rich enough to pay somebody enough money for them not to need nothing, then they won't steal from you. But that don't mean that no one's ever going to steal from you. It's just that you make enough money that when people steal from you, you're not going to miss it. But let's look at Johnson and Johnson real quick. As a global giant in pharmaceuticals and medical devices, Johnson and Johnson benefits from long-term trends like an aging population. It's known for its consistent profits and, importantly, its long history of paying and increasing its dividends. This provides a steady stream of cash to the portfolio, acting as a buffer during market downturns. Then there's the Coca-Cola company. Few brands are more recognized than Coca-Cola. Warren Buffett made his millions through owning Coca-Cola. All he did was put 5 or 10 grand down on Coca-Cola a long, long time ago, like 40 years ago, and now Coca-Cola got him a millionaire, multi-millionaire. Michael said, I walked out of McDonald's and say it's free. I own the stock. Michael says P and G stocks. Look now, we got to get these stocks. I tell you, if y'all don't write it down today, go back and rewatch the show. It's popping up in the comment section. It's going to replay in real time. Like Johnson and Johnson, it is a dividend aristocrat, meaning it has increased its dividends for over 25 years in a row. In fact, both have a streak longer than half a century. It's a lot of money. He talked about Snickers too. He's just throwing out stocks. Tell him, Michael, throw out some stocks. Now, an investment in Coca Cola isn't about explosive growth. It's about owning a piece of a global cash machine that has proven its strength. Though countless economic cycles have occurred, it has never faltered. These stocks are an admission that not all investments need to be moonshots. They are the financial equivalent of a keel on a ship, providing stability when the sea gets rough. They generate predictable cash flow and are less volatile than the other parts of the portfolio. By combining the growth potential of tech with the steady performance of these blue chip champions, the portfolio takes a classic core satellite structure. The core is the stable companies, while the satellites are the high growth tech stocks and the highly speculative DJT holdings. This shows a sophisticated approach to managing risk, which is what separates a real investment strategy from the all or nothing gamble pushed by the scam artists in those viral ads. Michael says $1.5 million per day goes to Buffett daily from Coca Cola. Phew. I need to see if they paying out daily with the. I might have to go and take a look at that Coca Cola stock. I'm gonna be looking at that Coca Cola stock right after this show now, because I did the research. I put this information together, and I confirmed that all of what's going on is going on, but I did not look into whether or not it was paying daily, monthly, whatever is going on. But if they're paying $1.5 million every day to Warren Buffett, I'm gonna have to talk to Warren, or I'm gonna have to talk to Coke, or I'm gonna have to something. That's how much Coke is sold around the world. That's a lot. I gotta tell you something. When you start owning Coca-Cola stock, you start taking your friends to the grocery store and having them buy Coca-Cola instead of buying Sprite. I'm telling you. Beyond the stocks and his direct disclosure, a full analyst should consider a second hypothetical portfolio, one based on his stated economic agenda. This is the other half of things, y'all. If you wanted to build a portfolio for a Trump 2025, what would it look like? This policy portfolio would be based on the core ideas of his America First philosophy: energy independence, domestic manufacturing, and a strong military. So let's look at the key sectors and companies that could benefit based on what he's got going on. Daily. Woo. I'm going in. I'm going to verify and then I'm going to let y'all know tomorrow. Energy independence. That's the first thing. The oil and gas giants, a key part of Trump's platform, has always been deregulating the energy sector to boost U.S. oil and gas production. This would likely benefit America's largest energy companies like Chevron and ExxonMobil. I'm giving you some more stocks, y'all. Pay attention. If y'all go and grab every single stock that I told you about today, y'all know what y'all doing with these. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Y'all might want to take the time to join the membership. Both are huge companies with strong balance sheets and long histories of paying dividends. I use Chevron and Shell, not Exxon, but that's okay because if you get them both, somebody will buy Exxon because Chevron got too many cars at the pump. Chevron recently solidified its future growth by winning its arbitration case to complete the acquisition of Hess gas station, giving it a major stake in Guyan's massive oil discovery. A policy that favors fossil fuels would be a direct boost to their bottom line. Domestic manufacturing and infrastructure is the next one. The industrial powerhouses, another key theme that we're going to be looking into is bringing manufacturing back to America and investing in infrastructure. So this puts a spotlight on companies central to building things in the US. A prime example is New Car. Give you another ticker, y'all. Y'all going to pay attention to this stuff. Y'all need to be grabbing these stocks out of the comment section. Because if y'all invest in these, y'all are going to see a very stable portfolio. The largest steel producers in the country is Nucor. Policies that, well, Nucor was suffering until China and the US dropped tariffs by 100% on both sides, which is total a 200% decline because it was like 145 or 150% from US to China and like 125% from China to the US. They both dropped their policies by 100%. So it's a 200% decline for round trips with steel. So it's a big drop. Now, policies that put tariffs on foreign steel combined with a major infrastructure spending bill would create a powerful tailwind for new car. The third one we're going to be looking for is peace through strength. The defense contractors, which I continue to tell you that military and defense contracts, y'all hate the police, but if you buy police stock, you'll make a bunch of fucking money because the squad cars, the radios, the surveillance cameras on every street corner, cyber security, home defense, the cameras on your house, ADT, all that shit. Invest in it, man. Invest in it. Don't get pissed off at the uniform that they wear, man. Invest in a stock that pays their salary, bro. Make you some money off the fact that they exist, the way they make money off of you when you in the drunk tank. Think about it now. Like and subscribe. Now, a constant theme that we're looking at for Trump is rebuilding the U.S. military, which is why he's putting like $600 million into it. This means more defense spending, which directly benefits major defense contractors. So a key player here is going to be Lockheed Martin. Here goes another stock for y'all. I want to make sure that y'all know what y'all looking at here. Lockheed Martin, LMT. Y'all need to take a look at these in the stock market now. I'm putting it in the comment section. I would be throwing these across the top of the screen, but it's like, y'all need to just go ahead and read the comment section real quick. The world's largest defense company and the maker of the F-35 fighter jets, where they're sending B-2 bombers to Iran to blow shit up, buy oil and invest in fighter planes. The F-35 program is one of the most advanced in history, with contracts that ensure revenue for decades. An administration focused on military strength would likely mean a steady stream of contracts for companies like Lockheed. Buy military stock. U.S. innovation and AI leaderships is going to be number 4. And buy any military stock. Finally, while he's being critical of some big tech companies, Trump's agenda has a strong sense of national pride in American innovation, especially in the AI race against China. So this reinforces the case for some of the tech names we already discussed, but also brings others into view like Oracle that has deep ties to the US government and is a positioning key in and of itself. Y'all need to look at these now. Y'all gonna be sitting over here looking like, damn, this man did set us up. He gave us all the all stars. These are all the stock all stars. If y'all gotta buy these at one share at a time, y'all need to come pick this shit up. Get one of each until you can get them all and stock it up. Take the dividends from the cash stock and buy more growth stocks. That's what you got to do. These key players are going to be in secure cloud and AI sectors. So, one more I'm going to be giving you guys. And y'all think that these two billionaires got so much beef, they not going to make money with one another. But a company like Tesla, even with its 14% dip, a company like Tesla, increasingly seen as an AI and robotics company, even though the cars suck. You've seen that Terminator 3 style robot team that he put out there, the ones that was making drinks, the one that looked like they're going to be the next military force. They got a lot of stuff out there. Y'all need to look into it. And these guys represent a kind of bold American led innovation that fits the American first story. Now, this policy portfolio focused on energy, industrial defense, and US tech is a clear blueprint for how one might invest based on a political outlook. It's not about secret tips, unlike those scams. It's about connecting public policy to the company's position to succeed. So let's bring it all together. We start by taking apart a dangerous and deceptive story, the myth of the $10 stock and the $100 trillion treasure. We've shown it has no basis in reality. There is no secret stock, there are no hidden assets, and it is a psychological trap designed to sell newsletters and lure you into some scheme that could wipe out your savings. Your best defense against these schemes is knowledge. He says, money, marriages, and more money. Oh, here goes. He got a anti-government person here. Lies, money, secrets, courts, government, politicians. Okay, all right. But by understanding these tactics, the wow claims, the false urgency, and the appeals to trust, you guys can spot them and protect yourselves. Then you can come to the show. We can talk about them, and I can break down the truth behind a lot of these things, so that you guys can know which ones are verifiable and which ones aren't. Then we move from fiction to fact. We look at Donald Trump's real financial holdings and we found a sophisticated three-part strategy. We saw the high stakes bet on his own brand with Trump Media and Technology Group. Then we found powerful growth engines for tech titans like Microsoft, Nvidia, and ready to ride the AI revolution. When we then shift into stable foundations for blue chip cash cows like Johnson and Johnson and Coca-Cola, and then we follow that up with a policy portfolio that is a strategic collection of companies in energy, industrial, and defense positioned companies that benefit from his stated agendas. This journey shows there is no single secret to building wealth, but there are no shortcuts. That's one of the things that y'all got to recognize. He said, if I don't water my money tree, it don't grow. Remember to like and subscribe. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But there is no overnight. There is no shortcut. There is no get rich quick scenario with growth. It is real investing. And real investing isn't about finding a magic lottery ticket. It's about building a solid strategy, diversifying your assets, and understanding the difference between speculation and investment. And those individuals that dive in with me on the dividend, he said, smarter every time I come. Good night. Yes, sir. Every time you come in, you're gonna learn something from me. Just about every time you come in, you're gonna learn something about how to change your decisions for yourself, your relationships, your network, your business, and then you're gonna come and learn how to make some money every night of the week. That's what we do 7 nights a week. Well, one of the things that you're going to love about this is that you can take this and apply it today. Unlike a seminar, unlike a get rich quick scheme, unlike feeding you a bunch of bullshit where you can buy something without knowing what you're buying, you come here, you get all the information before you walk away from it. And then when you come back, you get even more information. And if you buy something, you bought it because you knew what the fuck it was. But looking at what we've got going on right now, when you're following me with the dividend rotation strategy, eventually you're going to make enough money to take some of the dividend payouts and redirect the dividend payouts to growth stocks while still riding the wave of the dividend rotation strategy with your principal. By using your dividends to diversify your portfolio, you can still use your principal or add to your principal with more savings to make more money in multiple different directions. And that is how the wealthy keep getting wealthier outside of not wasting their money on bullshit. Michael said, here, hold my wallet. I'll pick it up next time. Yes, sir. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. I'm almost done here. We got a couple more things we're gonna be doing. Y'all need to understand it's gonna take work, it's gonna take patience, and a commitment to separating hype from reality. The story of the $10 stock is easy, it's tempting, and it's definitely a lie. So the reality of building a strategic portfolio is going to be more complex, but it is the truth. MJ said, I've seen this $150 trillion thing. Sorry, I just got here. Could you give me a quick opinion on that? I can tell you that it is not good. What? He said, cheap euros on what? Remove space. Nah, nah, my boy, that don't work. He's doing a good job on StreamYard trying to put up or on Twitch trying to put up I don't know what you trying to do over here with this whatever you got going on in the comment section, man. That makes no sense. Uh Look, hold on. We got you, buddy. Uh, but no, the the thing is that uh, what's going on with the stock is that you have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to find the stocks, do your research on it, and then invest in it. See, I had to go all the way to Twitch to take that guy out because I thought that shit was stupid. You have to understand that if you're getting this message about the $150 trillion stock, the fact is that there's no way that any one investment portfolio has more money involved in it than the entire U.S., the entire world's trade all in one location. It's not possible. So the thing is that while there are stocks, the U.S. only holds $5.5 trillion, which isn't $150 trillion. And out of that, Donald Trump is a billionaire. So, and Donald Trump and Elon Musk together do not have $20 billion. I think both of them have less than $5 billion each. So you're not looking at a large quantity of they're billionaires, but it's not a lot of money. Like they're not $100 billion a person kind of thing. Okay. But for those of you that are like starting off investing this year, those of you who don't have a lot of money towards your investments right now, he said, Anti said, penny stocks in the countries in war, you can do that too. Arab, India stocks have to rebuild. Look, follow that information right there. So, Iran, Israel, Ukraine, all the countries that just came out of massive conflict are spending a lot of money to rebuild. And any country that is rebuilding, if you invest in any areas that are investing in the build, you're going to make profits off of that. That's how you do it. You capitalize off of conflict. You capitalize off of the way people spend their money. You capitalize off of the way people invest in research and development. That's how you make money for you. Now, if you guys found this breakdown valuable and you guys want more of these deep dives that cut through the noise and gives you all the insider information that you need to make informed decisions, I strongly encourage you guys to like and subscribe. Hit those notification bells. We have shows scheduled for the rest of the week pretty much. I do believe I got to get Saturday and Sunday up there, but we've got uh, tomorrow we're going to be talking about investing in Swift and Sweden. We're going to be Thursday. We're going to be talking about ways to improve our decisions with our finances as well as our personal life choices. Friday we're going to be doing the same. We got different topics every day and all throughout the week because we're about to start going into the dividend rotation strategy over the weekend because we have 9 days left, 7 days really, 6 days if you want to meet Orchid Island and AGNC's investment opportunity to buy the stock the day before the ex dividend date because if you own it on or after the ex dividend date, you don't get paid. So you got less than a week left to get in there really so that you can get um, the money from Orchid Island and AGNC for uh, July, but you also want to buy you some Zim stock before the 2nd of August. Really, you want to buy the Zim stock before the 1st of August so that you have it for the 2nd of August, so that that's 74 cents a share dividend payout that is substantial for you to get it. If you put 10 bands down on Zim stock, you walk away with almost $500 off of 1 day worth of putting your money somewhere, and you can walk away with your 10 bands and go put it towards something else. Matter of fact, the stocks that we're going to be talking about next Tuesday with the ex dividends, if you invest in I think four of them back to back, you can make almost $1,000 just by putting 10 grand in and moving it around for a month and taking 10 grand out, and you make almost $1,000. Some people don't make that much money in their paycheck. You making that money just by moving money around. MJ said, "Do you know about XRP? I'm in it for the long term. The XRP ledger is replacing Swift trillions on the ledger, marking or making XRP 1,000 to 10,000." I mean, you can get in there if you want to. The thing about cryptocurrencies, because with the advancements of green energy comes the advancements of blockchain development because it takes a lot of energy to develop blockchains. When you're doing crypto tradings, it doesn't matter if you're doing the big name crypto tradings like Bitcoin or the smaller ones. The fact is, even if you're using TradeBots, microtransactions are microtransactions. And if you find the right back and forth action, you can buy and sell and double, triple, quadruple, 100 times more return off of your stock options if you're following the market and making those trades the way you want to make those trades. Michael says, let's get a whiteboard. I understand better with visual. See what you're saying. This guy's saying XRP is carbon negative and takes up virtually no energy. That doesn't change the fact that blockchain takes up a lot. Creating a mining for a Bitcoin takes a lot of energy, and cryptocurrency developments, the genuine cryptocurrency developments, are going to take up some energy. So you're going to see a lot more advancements in not only the creation of cryptocurrency in general. So you're going to have more competitors there. You're going to see more names that you're not familiar with that are less valuable than cryptocurrency but have higher returns than, or less valuable than Bitcoin but have higher returns than Bitcoin. Because if you bought a penny stock where you bought it, it's $1 a share, and it gives you a 50-cent return. You think, oh, 50 cents isn't a lot of money on it. But if you bought 1,000 of them fuckers, you just made 500 bucks. So the difference is that, um where was I going with that? The difference is that though it is smaller, though it has a lower buying cap, the fact is that if you buy it and hold it, it's going to make money over time. Does I get what you mean? I'm loving your sound smart about stocks, bro. I put a lot of research into this. I put a lot of research into this. Is it replace it with the fake bookcase? Uh, I love these kids that come out of the woodwork and they want to ask about, but why are you coming to a podcast that's talking about making and investing money? Take quitting working for somebody else and taking the money that you have and making yourself more money. Why are you going to come to a podcast like that? So that you can then talk about a list of people that live like Diddy. It doesn't make sense. Who cares who's on the list? Are you on the list, James? Because if you're not on the list, you clearly wasn't invited. If you didn't make it to the red room, you're clearly not a VIP. Doesn't matter. I don't think so. Because if I don't have enough money to get an invitation to the private island where the Epstein files started at, then I don't give a fuck because I clearly am not making enough money to be important enough to get that invitation. So, since that lifestyle and my lifestyle are on different planets, I'm going to keep stacking my cash and I'm going to keep making money, make money for me so that I can definitely afford to live the lifestyle that I'm satisfied with. I'm also going to make sure that I live the kind of lifestyle where my kids can be satisfied with it. I want to live the kind of lifestyle where I have developed the type of generational wealth where my kids are enjoying the lifestyle that I created. Okay. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, why are you doing this for people that didn't do anything for it?" Fuck, you give all this money to the Catholic Church so that you can have a better afterlife, an afterlife that you may never get to see. Why the fuck can't you build a life for your kids and your grandkids, great grandkids that you may never get to see? If you're gonna do something to benefit your fellow man. He said, definitely not the right time for that. No, it wasn't the right time for that bullshit. We, I don't even cover. I do not cover scandals. I cover topics that directly impact your money. So hear me out. On this podcast, it is deeply revolving around how somebody else's decisions directly impacts your money, how your decisions directly impact your money, how your decisions directly impact the other people that are important to you, how it impacts their money, and how your decisions to look after the people that are important to you negatively impacts your money. The core goal in this entire podcast, your fucking money. I want it to stay in your pocket. I want it to stay in your portfolio. I want you to have more access to discretionaries so that when you want to buy something, you can buy it. If you want to play cap save a hoe, you can afford it. If you want to quit your job, you got it. Because as I told y'all, when this country first started its Trump era, he got the opportunity to run a third term. And during his term, this is the last time that poor folks can become rich. I just covered the show yesterday about how student loans was gone for everybody after a bachelor's degree. So the next generation, Gen Zs, um, what do they call them now? Generation Alpha, the next group up, when they turn 18, they're not going to have a leg to stand on. All of y'all that are 40 and 50 years old right now, that got kids that are 10 and 12 and 15 years old that's on their way into college. If y'all come and get this financial information just so that y'all can afford to pay for y'all kids' scholarships to go to college, so that y'all can help y'all kids become somebody. Because that's what a lot of parents do. A lot of parents grind out so that their kids can be successful. But for you to take your pennies and put it into a bank account at 0.065% interest versus taking that exact same quantity of capital and following me to a no loss all gain scenario where you're going to make 35% interest on a bad month, 168% annual percentage yield, where you're making 150% more than what you put up 10,000, come back with 25,000. And you're looking at using that to pay for your kids' education because the government's not paying for your kids no more. The government's not paying for your health care no more. The government's not paying for your retirement no more. If you're not a veteran, if you didn't put 2 to 4 years in the service and got honorably discharged, you ain't getting shit from this country. So now is the time for you to put your money in a place where your money can make money for you. So that if you have a 20-year plan, like I've been telling you all year, if you create your 20-year plan right now, if you're 30, 40 years old, you create your 20-year plan, you're going to be 50, 60 years old, you're going to be financially set. At 50, 60 years old, you're going to go grab you a 30-year-old or 27-year-old and live the rest of your life lovely. Or you can bullshit with the money. It's up to you. Michael said, I'm the boss and I'm happy. Money makes you happy. Only poor people say money doesn't, and that's a lie. They're right. Because if money didn't buy you happiness, then females wouldn't be chasing money to call themselves being in a happy relationship. If money didn't buy you happiness, Chris Brown would not have 20 ex-girlfriends that he beat the shit out of during his relationships consecutively. James said 10,000 to 25,000 isn't 30% increase. Please don't take any financial advice to this man. I love the way stupidity jumps into the podcast. So let's jump into that real quick. If you put in $10,000 and you get $15,000 as the return on your investment. Your principal is 10,000. Your profit is 15,000. That is 150%. However, Jackass here wasn't here 2 hours ago, or actually the last 35, 45 minutes ago, when we were talking about how the dividend rotation strategy gives you back 35% from August 2025 if you pick up the Zim stock, the Arbor Realty stock, the AG mortgage stock, and the Orchid Island stock. Or if you dip into the Cord stock for the one of the energy stocks that we had grabbed, where ultimately you will put up 10,000 and get $842 back, which is almost 35% when you're doing that regularly. You put that same 10 bands on the same quarterly stock 4 times in a year, you're getting a 35% return. Do the fucking math. Where would I get these numbers from if I didn't do the calculations? But like James, naysayer, if you don't believe what I got to tell you, you crush the numbers. Matter of fact, when you come back next Tuesday, we're going to talk about all of these stocks. We're going to talk about all of these investments. I'm going to be crunching the numbers for you. I'm going to be giving you all the values and all the figures and all the in the moment stock options because I'm going to take my time right before the show and readjust the values for the exact dollar value after the market closes next week, Tuesday, so that you can see how 10 bands can give you at least a grand off of 4 investments in August next month. And y'all can ride the wave with me for the rest of the year. Y'all can ride the wave with me for the next 20 years. But when I touch my million, if y'all wasn't following me, oh man, how did you do it? I've followed my podcast for the last 10 years. That's how I did it. Now, Michael said 3% is much better than the interest from the bank. 3% is much better, but 35% is way better than the interest from the bank. 8% is better than the interest from the bank. It's going to snowball your money. 35%, 50%, 40% is going to really hit you in ways where you're going to be so excited about investing because you're watching your money grow. And that's one of the things that everybody wants to see. They want to see a return on their investment. They want to see progress on their effort. And not a lot of times do you feel that profit on your investment when you're doing growth stocks. You feel that profit on your investment when you're doing cash stocks because you put your money up on a growth stock and you leave it there. And then if you need money, a lot of people who don't know no better sell the stock. And any money that you left on the table is gone. But if you buy a cash stock, a dividend paying stock, as long as you own the stock, it keeps giving you money back. If you need some money, you just take the dividends. But if you're getting paid to own the shares, that gives you the encouragement to buy more shares because they're going to give you more money. And the more that you add to that over the years, the more you're going to have in the long run. But it's still a 20-year plan. If you're putting away 40 grand a year, which is hard to do if you have a $50,000 a year lifestyle living a $49,000 a year expense account, right? But if you're dating somebody that's willing to put in and y'all got a $50,000 a year lifestyle and the two of y'all are making $110,000 a year together, y'all can put 40 grand aside and y'all can invest that instead of buying bullshit for her. Y'all can invest that and in 10 years you'll be millionaires. You put all that shit into a trust, get some life insurance policies, and one of y'all die, the other one's a millionaire. You be crying at the funeral, crying and laughing at the same time because you just like Kobe's wife, you'll be making it big just by living it up. It's just one of them things that people don't think about. I'd rather has the money watch me grow old. Oh yeah, I'd rather have that money and watch myself grow old too. That's what people don't understand. However, he said, bro got the underpants gnomes business logic. I got more than the underpants gnomes business logic. I got that Donald Trump logic. I got that Elon Musk logic. I got that Warren Buffett logic. At the end of the day, bro, like and subscribe as y'all come through. At the end of the day, if you want to make money, continue following us and see where we take you. You don't have to put your money on the stocks. You could just watch the stock for a few months. Fucker's gonna still be there. It's not, oh, you got to hurry up and buy now. I mean, shit, if you really want to make a difference on stocks this month, you kind of want to buy the shares that are about to have their ex dividend dates next week. But I mean, if you just want to see what happens in August and then start buying the shit in September, wait, wait. That's 45 days. Do you? But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you I told you so. That's the difference. With that being said, I got a slide too. MJ said, "Got to wake up early. Got to wake up real early. Just found you came late. I'll have to watch later. Peace. Good night." Oh yeah, MJ, I'm gonna see you again because tomorrow we're gonna be talking about Sweden, where we're gonna be investing and living in Sweden. We got a lot of other things going on. Y'all can check the show. All of the shows have a replay, and all the comments that go into the comment section are on live replay during the post live show. So make sure that y'all check those out. He said they will spend the money on new cars, new items that they can't afford, and they're going to finance the shit. So when they can't afford to pay for it, it's going to get repossessed and then resold to somebody else. They're still going to be broke like MC Hammer. They're not going to have nothing, and all their wealth will be gone. And then they're going to be living on their family members, hoping that they can not get put out while they're sleeping on the couch because they made the wrong financial choices. You're going to be 60 years old, still living with your parents, wondering what the fuck happened to yourself. It is what it is. With that being said, I got to run. Ladies, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking y'all to make it make sense. So, ladies, please make it make sense. Fellas, this is a male-driven podcast from the male's perspective, and with 75% of the followership being men, I do this to help you guys become higher value men, not only in your finances but also in your decision-making policies. So make sure that you like and subscribe so that you guys can learn this. But ladies, this is not gender-exclusive information. Y'all can take this information and make yourselves more successful as well. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for coming to this and that. Special shout out to Michael. Special shout out to MJ. I really appreciate you guys for coming through. Mr. Satellite, Usman, all the guys that come through. Anti-fake, I really appreciate you for hanging out and learning some stuff with us tonight. Thank you guys again for coming to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. One more before I go. Special shout out to Eric M. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow night around about 10:35, 10:50 Central Time, which is like 11:35, 11:50 Eastern Standard Time. See y'all
higher ground. Used to chase validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt upon the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher, constantly making my own climb. Standing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. I'm not landing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never yield.